All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I is. The good Dr. Mike back again, once again, with another just random live stream. Just checking in, people. Just checking in, letting you guys know the good doc is still alive. Letting you know he did make it here. I've only been in the Philippines for a little bit now, and thought that I would come through and show some love to you for a quick moment in time before I go try to get the day started. I was getting a lot of questions about my travels to the Philippines, how it was, what was the food like, and stuff like that. So, they basically, the good doc is checking up and checking in with his people, letting them know that everything is all good. And I'll just tell you about my trip and everything so that you guys can get a general idea of what it was like coming here again. This time around, it was a little bit different than the first time that I did, the Philippines relived and everything like that. So I flew from RDU, which is Raleigh Durham International Airport. I flew to Los Angeles. From LA, I flew to Narita, Japan. Narita, Japan, and then from Japan to the Philippines. Now, the actual flight times, not too much of a big deal. I didn't have a layover, but I flew to Denver before I flew to LAX. Probably a 2-hour layover there, so very, very minimal. Nothing too much to worry about there. Then I flew from, like I said, Denver to LAX. My layover there, a good 3, maybe 4 hours or so. So that wasn't too much of a bad turnaround for myself. My biggest layover was in Narita, Japan. That was probably, I think I want to say the flight time itself was between 9 and 10 hours to get there. But then when I got there, it was about damn near 10-hour layover before my flight coming to the Philippines, okay? So I was in Narita trying to figure out what to do for about 10 hours. It was pretty brutal. Again, when you're trying to fly and you're trying to get you a nice, decent ticket, I got my ticket on Cheapo Air. I did buy it on Cheapo Air. Was it cheap? I probably could have did a little bit better, but the ticket price wasn't too bad. But yeah, when I went online, what happened was actually what pissed me off the most, myself personally, is I paid extra for my baggage. See, when I was flying from RDU from Raleigh to Raleigh to Denver, I had to pay $30 because of my baggage allowance. I didn't really pay attention to the baggage allowance when I was flying. I was the type of person, I was like, look, last time I came with a carry bag and a roll bag, so I'm like, man, forget that shit. Let me put it all in one bag and be done. That's what I thought. One carry-on bag is a big-ass camper bag. I think you see that bag in my video when I first got here, the first video when I touched down, that bag, that big red bag that's sitting in that chair. Yeah, I felt that I would be good to go with that shit. So when I was flying, I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna bother me with that shit. No sooner than I get to the airport before I'm flying to LAX, she was like, oh, your bag is too big. You gotta check it in. That's gonna cost you an extra 30. So I'm thinking, all right, cool, man, $30. I kind of put that, you have extra money when you travel simply because you want to make sure that you don't fall short on any aspect. So the lady was like, sir, you got to pay $30, but you got to pay it with your credit card. I'm like, damn, I got to pay $30 on my credit card because they wouldn't take cash in the airport. I didn't know that they wouldn't take cash for it. So I'm sitting here because my credit card, like I got a credit limit like anybody else does. And I was damn near at my limit. I had to make sure I didn't pay that off yet. But anyways, I made it. I paid it through. So here's what happened. When I got to Narita, right, just before my flight was about to come out, the lady told me that I was going to have to pay 4,500 yen, which was about, what is 4,500 yen? Roughly about the same amount, another $30, $35 or something like that. At the counter, the lady was like, yo, you got to pay because your bag is too big. So I said, cool. So I walked to the counter thinking I'm going to have to pay. So what I did is the young lady at the counter just talked her up, how you doing? Yeah, how long you been working here, et cetera, et cetera. And she was like, do you have any bags to check in and declare? I said, nah, all I got is my backpack. I didn't turn all the way around so she could see how big it was. I just told her that's all I had. So I'm sitting here sweating bullets because I still have to actually get on a plane. Luckily for me, from my Narita flight to the Philippines, they put me in the emergency exit row. Now, what that means for me, or at least for that particular airline that I flew on, you get to board first, right? So at least when you're at an emergency exit, they boarded me first. So I could find a place to maneuver this big ass red bag that I'm carrying, and nobody's really paying attention or looking at what I'm doing. So they bus us to where the plane is, and I had nothing but time. Nobody's looking at my bags or anything like that. Hey sir, how you doing? Welcome to so and so. Whatever it is. Arigato gozaimasu. You know how Japanese and shit. So I stuffed my bag up there. First of all, I didn't think it was gonna fit because their cabin bins are very, very small. If you guys have ever been on AirAsia, you understand that the cabin sizes for most of these smaller planes very, very small. So I didn't think it was gonna fit. Matter of fact, I thought the chick was gonna come and say, "Sir, your bag is too big." But normally they don't really fuck with me. So I'm over here stuffing it in, realizing that all that's inside of the bag was clothing. Like there ain't nothing in there but clothes. So I stuff it up in there. And then, I was able to close it and we're good to go. So touchdown in the Philippines. You guys seen it. I touched down at like 11:40, maybe. No, I think I touched down at like 12 o'clock in the eve, 12 o'clock in the AM when I got to the Philippines. So I had to buy that Red Doors hotel. Now, again, that was a last minute booking for myself. That's why it was probably $22. But actually, I do believe it doesn't matter when you book. The Red Doors that I stayed at in Manila is probably $21 or $22, period. So when you're paying that kind of money, you're probably going to be a little bit iffy about it. People were commenting, talking about, yeah, man, I stayed in bigger rooms than that and so, or this room was the size of a jail cell. Yeah, it was pretty small. I'm not going to front. But at the end of the day, all I needed to do was sleep for one night. I wasn't really unpacking my bag. I wasn't really trying to get comfortable. So like I said, I changed my shit the next morning. Took me a nice, decent shower. Checkout time was 12 noon. And then that's when I got, the Airbnb that you guys saw in the next video. So when I got the Airbnb, people asked the difference between, Doc, what's the difference between the Airbnb and the hotel pricing, all of this stuff. To be honest with you, I didn't say this in the video, but I'm telling you right now, the Airbnb that I'm staying at, it's cheaper than the hotel that I stayed at. That was roughly about $21, $22 a night. This was like 20, maybe 19. But the difference is, when it comes to Airbnb, you guys know you have your service charges, your cleaning fees, and stuff like that, right? So you got that kind of stuff that you have to deal with as far as the extra fees are concerned. But people are asking me, Doc, why don't you just stay in a hotel room if you're going to end up spending that kind of money? I'm thinking to myself, I could stay in a hotel. But ultimately, if you do want to cook for yourself, if that is something, that is something that you're into, you kind of want to have the luxury of being able to do so. You can't cook inside of a hotel. You can cook inside of an apartment. But they don't have too many of those here in the Philippines. You have, an Airbnb or you have a hotel room. You pick your poison. If you're the type of person that you want to cook for yourself or you don't mind going out and eating every day or whatever it may be, hotel, apartment, whatever it may be, it's going to serve its purpose regardless. But for myself, I always found it to be a little bit more convenient for myself to be able to have the option to cook if I wanted to, or, have the option to have a place to cook if I wanted to. And that's why I choose Airbnb apartments and stuff like that. All right. If you guys want $40 off of your Airbnb stay, I don't think it's listed in the link in the description area below, but look at some videos and you'll find my $40 off. If you guys aren't already on Airbnb, make sure you check that out. Of course, let's go ahead and plug some books real quick. Dr. Mike's Mike the P.I.'s Quick Guide for First Timers to the Philippines. You guys know about that book. That book is awesome. Make sure you guys check out the BOOTYLOO Chronicles if you have not already. That is the greatest book of all times. Listed in the link in the description area below. Teespring Tees, the whole nine. All right. You guys know how to find them. Look in the links in the description area below. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. So get to the Philippines. The one thing that's really kicking my ass right now is jet lag. All right. Haven't been able to figure out jet lag to save my life. It's way harder than it was last year. That's all I'm going to tell you, man. Jet lag is a whole lot harder this time around than it was last year. Normally, I could put myself to bed at a decent time, wake up at a decent time. I'm good. But this time around, it's a little bit different. I find myself napping in the middle of the day. Find myself getting up about 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening, going till about 4 or 5 in the morning. It's awful because that's not even on Eastern Standard East Coast timing. I mean, I'm talking about going to bed at like 5 or staying up till about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sleeping from about 5 p.m. till about noon time, and then getting up maybe, and it's a disaster. Okay, Doc is having a hard time with the jet lag part. But again, when you're on vacation and you're not really pushing yourself to do shit, you're not really having to go nowhere. You're not really having to do anything pertinent, with the exception of making my videos. I do have some videos coming out that you guys need to be very, very, very aware of. You know, stuff that I hope you guys are excited about to see. But yeah, when it comes to like, other than shooting my videos and having fun and shit, I'm not really pushing myself to go out like I should. You know, especially in Manila. I push myself to go out if I need to, but I really don't go out a lot when I'm in Manila. Not as much as I probably would if I'm in Davao. Okay. But yeah, aside from that, you know, just kicking it, man. That's pretty much what life is all about. Since I've been here, stories to tell, plenty. I do have a story that I did record a video on. I'm gonna let the video speak for itself when it comes out. I might put that one out sometime soon. I'm not sure exactly when, but you guys will hear the story soon enough. It was a situation that happened when I went to go exchange some money at the money changer. You guys did see the ATM videos. I was giving you guys tips on the ATM. Oh, let me talk about that video real quick, because a lot of people were asking me. They were like, yo, Doc, they was like, so you took out $5, like $10 and 500 pesos in that video, and you got charged 250 pesos. I was like, no, I actually used my local card when I used the ATM here. That's why it was just an example video. I didn't use my foreign card. I used my local card. On my local card, it every time that you use a card that is not associated with that particular bank, as you saw, that was RCBC. I'm not a card holder for RCBC. Anytime you put a card that is not connected to that particular bank, is going to give you that same notification. Excuse me. So that particular notification is simply because a foreign card is put inside of the machine, not necessarily because it's a foreign card. So it says any card issued internationally, blah, 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 will be charged $250 in additional fees, blah, 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 blah. That's what it says anytime you put in any card that is not associated with that bank. Personally, for me to use that particular ATM, my ATM fee to withdraw from an ATM in the Philippines that is not my Philippine bank is 11 pesos. Okay? The surge charge or the service charge is like 11 pesos. Okay? So it's not really that big a deal. It's not really I'm losing a lot of money, or it's not really like, damn, Doc, you took out $10 and you had to pay $5 to get it. Nah, nothing like that. So that was why it asked me that particular question. You understand? So, you know, when it comes to using the ATM, guys, I do stand by my reasoning for choosing to use ATMs connected to banks. I stand by that wholeheartedly, simply because at the end of the day, if your card does get stuck, they can take care of it quickly. I discourage using the ATM in the evening time. Well, like I said, I did that specifically for an example. But if the banks are closed, can you imagine the headache and heartache that you have to deal with until that bank opens up the next morning in order for you to get your card? I guarantee you, you probably wouldn't leave that ATM. especially if that card is something that's not protected, because I have seen situations, and this is no bullshit, I've seen situations where the card gets stuck, and then about 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, for some reason, the machine has spit it out. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen a card get spit out after the person walked away because they were using a kiosk inside of the mall, and I was going to follow suit. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes after that person walked away, the machine spit out the money. Or not the money, but the ATM card. So that's pretty fucking dangerous, and that's pretty intriguing as well. So that's why I stick to my guns when I say you got to use the ATMs at a decent time in the morning when the banks are open so that they can take care of it immediately. I was also asked about using ATMs inside of airports. I discourage using ATMs in airports simply because the same rules apply. If your ATM gets caught inside of the airport, depending on if you're using a kiosk or whatever. Now, a lot of people know this. When you fly into Manila, you go through, you get your bags, and just before you go out, they have 2 ATMs set up on the 2 or 3 ATMs. They got a land bank, they got a BDO bank. This is just from international flights. I seen it when I came through. But they also have a if you go a little further down the way, they have a BDO bank, and then there's another bank there. So they have not actually the bank, but like a counter where you can do transactions, exchanges, and stuff like that. You can even deposit money if you have money to deposit in your bank account. I did that the last time I was here. But yeah, I guess if it gets caught in those particular ATMs and that bank teller is like already there or something like that, maybe that'll work. But just any regular kiosk, it's going to take time for you to be able to get that money out. All right. So that's why I highly discourage using ATMs in the evening time. Make sure that you stick to that 100%, simply because I don't want you guys crying about losing your money. Trust me, there is no worse feeling in the world than when your ATM gets stuck in a machine. That almost happened to me one time. I almost cried. Like, my heart was beating fast. And the reason that I thought it was getting stuck was because the processing kept saying it's processing, it's processing, it's processing, it's processing for like 5 minutes. So I'm thinking to myself, what the hell happening? I didn't think that it was working. So, you just got to be careful with shit like that. That's all. All right. But now that I'm here, man, I'm good. I'm happy to be here, ecstatic to be here. Like I said, jet lag is a bitch. That's about the only thing that I can complain about. Since being in the Philippines, jet lag does suck. But I'm enjoying myself, man. I'm over here having the time of my life, shooting video whenever I get a chance to, sitting down in front of the camera whenever I get a chance to, just having conversations whenever I can, because I want to be able to share. I want to be able to record these moments as they happen. Like, if I'm thinking about something in a particular moment, if I don't go live with it, I'll shoot a video for it just to have it in the pocket so that you guys can have that particular video prepared, or I have that particular video prepared to put out whenever, so that you guys can understand what I was going through in the moment when I made that particular video. All right. So showing love to my people, man. Earl Owens, I see you, man. Smooth Riffs. My boy NY Mess fan. Appreciate you guys coming through. And then, is it Fusius or Fusius? 81. Thank you guys for being here. I see we got 14 watching. I don't know why I only have 4 people saying hi to me. Come on now. Really? Y'all don't like me that much? Y'all just would rather sit in the background and hate me or some shit? Yeah, make sure you guys get the likes up on the video. I'm not expecting too many likes. There's only 14 of y'all here. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that I came on at a decent time for my people in the United States. I understand that it is 9:30 in the p.m. Quick time check. 9:30 in the p.m. there, 9:30 in the p.m. here in the Philippines. What are we looking at? 6:30 in the a.m. for everybody in the West Coast, and then, of course, 8:30 in the a.m. for everybody repping that Central. Wherever you are reporting in the world today, thank you for showing up for the good doc. He appreciates that 100%. Again, you could have been anywhere in the world tonight, partying, drinking, getting fucked up, but you chose to spend just a little bit of your time with the good doc, and he definitely appreciates that one wholeheartedly. My man Pedro, I see you in the building, and also my man Dave. I appreciate you guys being here, man. Doc's just having fun. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up on the video. Any questions that you have, please feel free to ask, because I'm telling you right now, Once I turn this camera off, I'm probably just going to lay down for the rest of the day. Ironically, it's a Saturday morning here. You would be thinking, Doc, what you doing, man? You could do anything. You're in the Philippines, baby. What you doing? I'm going to take me a nap. That's what the fuck I'm going to do. Take me a nap. I didn't get a lot of sleep in between this time. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I went to bed roughly about 4 or 5 in the a.m. Just got up about 8:30 so that I could rock out this live stream real quick. I wanted to make sure I say what's up to my people. That's all it is. Shout out to the homie from, you from the H-Town. Appreciate you being here, bro. That's what's up. And my man, Thomas Love, man. What's good with you, bro? Like I said, man, Doc just wanted to check in and check up, man. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the traveling because a lot of people were asking me questions about that. A lot of people were asking me questions about the videos that I put out so far. So I talked about the airport video. Talked about my experience in the airport. Plenty of stops. And the reason, matter of fact, my man Earl Owen says that there were a lot of stops for me. Yeah, I did that on purpose. That's why there were a bunch of stops for myself. I think in total maybe 5 or 6. As far as stops, I'm sorry, maybe 4. But anyways, like I said, we talked about what happened through the airport. Food was okay. The food was it was pretty good, man. It was just like your chicken and your beef, man. They kind of had some like a chicken with some bok choy, the vegetable, the leafy vegetable on top of some rice and stuff like that, or you had like some shrimp pasta. They give you a full course meal though. So no fronting, man. That was pretty decent. I just ate most of the fruit, drank water, tried to. So we talked about the airport. We talked about the room that I stayed in, the Red Doors. Okay, the Airbnb we talked about. Okay, let's talk about the Grab. Right, the Grab situation. For me, Grab is fucking expensive. Like right now, I'm not kidding you. Grab is really expensive for myself. I didn't like having to pay what I paid. Now, the video when I got out of the airport, you guys saw me go straight to the yellow taxi, and that was the reason. If you look further out, you see the white taxis lined up. If you look at that first video that I made coming back, you look at the line in the back, there's white taxis, and then the yellow taxis are on the inside. Those are airport taxis. The reason I didn't use Grab that time, even though I didn't know that Grab was 24 hours, the reason I didn't use Grab the time that I flew in and got here was because my application on my phone wasn't working. I needed to update my app, and I didn't have any data or anything to update it, and I didn't have time, so I just used the airport taxi. So again, airport taxis are definitely a great secondary alternative when you're flying into the Philippines. If the Grab app is not updated on your phone, anything like that, please just go for the airport taxis. I do think that they may be a tad bit more expensive, but they're honest. Okay, they are more expensive than your normal white taxis. I will say that, but at least they're honest. Their flag down rate is like 70 pesos. And then like when you're running through it, I think every 3 pesos or 4 pesos every, I want to say kilometer, but I'm not accurate on that one. But I think the flag down rate is 70 instead of 40. But again, they are honest. So like I said, I wasn't really tripping because I knew it was late. And I'm like, look, man, I got to get to where the fuck I'm at before they over here give my reservation to somebody else. So that's kind of how it works. All right. What else? Okay, so the Grab situation for myself, I still think Grab is expensive. Since I've been here and since that video was put out, I've pretty much found out how to get around to the major areas that I wanted to go using the LRT and the MRT. All right. When you have a young lady who's lived in Manila for a while herself, she'll tell you, oh, all you got to do is just get on this and get on that and do this. Now, the first time she told me, man, I was like, man, that shit ain't about to happen. But she was like, all you're going to do is you're going to get off here and then you can transfer over here. That's all you got to do. So I said, fuck it, I need to try it. So basically, since that video came out, I have used the buses to go to SM. I have used the LRT and also the MRT to get around where I need to go. And once I realized like major landmarks, like, okay, I know where this place is, I know where that place is and stuff like that, became pretty easy. Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, when I was trying to go somewhere, I looked at Grab first. It told me it was going to cost me 300 pesos to get there. But literally, it was a straight shot from the LRT. I could have gotten on a Jeep, but I didn't know my way around. So I got on the LRT. It cost me 20 pesos back. It cost me 20 pesos there, 20 pesos back. So I paid 40 pesos in total, as opposed to what I would have paid like 600 if I was going to go back and forth, at that particular rate in time. So you guys realize that once you learn the local transportation, it saves lives and it saves money. It saves money. Am I still skittish about local transportation in the Philippines? Yeah, but that's more so for the FXs. That's more so for the jeepneys. The LRTs and the MRTs, as long as you keep your shit in front of you where you can hold on to it or have visual sight of your stuff, I don't mind, or I don't see using those particular modes of transportation as an issue. Because once you're literally in the place, once you're in there, it can be very packed and very jammed. So keep your bag and stuff in front of you. Make sure you have everything that's in your pockets in front of you. And I don't really see there being an issue nor a problem, all right? So when it comes to using Grab, like I said, man, if you're boss hogging it and you balling out of control and everything is legit, you probably wouldn't have a problem using Grab or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna cry over spending $7 back and forth going from where you need to go. You're not gonna have any issues with that. Guys, give me 10 seconds. I gotta get my charger for my phone. It's over there. Just give me a second, all right? Okay, hold on. Now I gotta find a place to plug this damn thing in. All right, hold on, guys. I'm here. Just give me a minute. There she blows. My people. All right, guys. Anywho, all right, I'm back. I just didn't want y'all to see me walking around my apartment real quick. Gotta charge the phone. All right, but anyways, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. For me, Grab just expensive, man. Y'all be all right. Anywho, let me read my comics real quick. Like I said, my man Tino, what's going on with you, bro? My man Tommy, Philippines Journey. He says, what's up, Doc? How's it going? Obviously better since you're there. Life is a little bit better since I've been back. Just chilling, man. I'm just enjoying myself and not really complaining, not really bitching or moaning about anything right now. It was a rough last week before leaving. You got to get everything together, blah, blah, blah. You're dealing with school stuff. And, these kids, bro, y'all know Doc work in the school system. Them kids getting your damn nerves when school about to get out because they know they don't got no work to do. And when they know they ain't got shit to do, what they do is they cut a fool. Like, they're ready to get out, but unfortunately, mommy and daddy be sending them to school for no damn reason at all. I'd be like, why don't you keep your little gremlin at home or some shit? I'm like, damn, man. As soon as you know that you got to see these motherfuckers, you be mad. I'd be like, man, why don't your mama keep you at home? I said, damn. I said, even your own mama don't want to be with you. She going to put you in school every single day until the last day of school. So, like I said, that week before, they was not playing. They was on one. So, basically, I just coasted through that last week of school on vacation, man, chilling. I can't complain now. Doc got a smile on his face. Feeling great, feeling good, feeling great. But Thomas Love, where will the good Doc be going? A lot of places. Nah, not too many places, but I'm going to just leave that as a surprise. I don't want to give away my full itinerary right now because sometimes I don't even know where I'm going. But yeah, I'm not going to give away my full itinerary just yet. I'll just say the next video will be like, okay, Doc's on his way to such and such a place. So Doc's on his way here, Doc's on his way there. That's pretty much how you're going to find out where I'm going. I don't want to tell you everything in advance. Because where's the fun in that? Guys, got to make sure you stay hydrated in the Philippines. No product placement, but Doc is an absolute and a Nature Spring fan. That Avion water tastes like booty. And that Nestle water, I think it tastes like shit. So I don't drink that stuff. But anyways, yeah. It'll just have to be a surprise. I don't want to give away every place that I'm planning on visiting while I'm in the Philippines right now. But, eventually y'all find out. The wildest life was good with you, man. My man says, I heard that Grab is inexpensive depending on where you are. Well, in Manila it's expensive. For me. Again, the word expensive is very, very general, per se, because expensive for me may not be expensive for you. So for me to say expensive, I'm not necessarily saying, oh, it's going to cost you an arm, a leg, a foot, and half a testicle to get in this bitch. But what I'm saying is, when you don't prepare for that kind of money, it's like, damn, wait a minute now. I can't be taxiing around, especially when I'm used to not spending that type of money per ride to go places. That's all it is. If I'm not used to spending it, I need to find a way to make that work for myself. You feel me? So that's pretty much all it is. But like you said, it may depend on where you are. See, the thing is, when I'm in Davao, I don't use Grab at all. I don't use Grab. Why? Because I know where the hell I'm going on local transportation. So why would I need to use Grab? So I can't say that, yeah, in Davao City, Grab is inexpensive, this, that, and the other. Because first of all, Grab in the Philippines is only taxis. There's no personal cars that ride for Grab in Davao City. In Cebu, yeah, I heard they have personal cars that drive you in Cebu and also in Manila. I'm not sure about other areas, but again, like I said, expensive is relatively a laxed term. It's a pretty general term. So again, expensive for me may not be expensive for you. For myself, I can't see myself spending $14, 300 here, 300 there. It just doesn't work for me. So like I said, I encourage learning local transportation if you can, if you have time. If you don't have time, who really cares? You're there for a certain period of time. You're balling out of control. Have fun. Fuck it. Learn local transportation the next time. If you're a big guy, we talked about that. Height issues in the Philippines. Riding Jeeps and shit may not be your thing. Even riding on the bus may not be your thing because the space between the seats are not really a lot of space at all. So it's almost like you got to be, you just got to pick your poison. You got to know what works best for yourself. All right. And if Grab does the trick, serves the purpose, and tickles your pickle, by all means, stick with Grab. I think Grab is a lifesaver. I really do. I mean, it does. It's very quick. It's convenient. Get in the car. They take you where you're going. You already know what you're going to pay. Where taxis could fluctuate in between, here, there, and everywhere. But, it just depends on how, where you're going and what you're doing. I guess that depends on pricing as well. So, my man MD, appreciate you guys coming through. My boy Malcolm, Mr. MJ, being the place to be. I see you guys in the building. My man Malcolm says I took Grab from AC Pampanga to Quezon and almost 1,000 pesos. You know what? For some reason, I guess I'm not shocked nor surprised. But one thing that I'm not surprised about is that price. You're talking about Angeles City to Quezon City. I don't even know how long of a distance that is, but it sounds far. Thinking about it in my head, that sounds like a pretty decent distance. So for you to only have to pay $20, that actually doesn't sound as bad as I thought it would be. I would probably peg $3,000 for that, or $2,000, but you only paid one, so that's not really that big a deal. It's a lot, but if you're only making that trip one time, it doesn't really matter. You feel me? If that's a one-time bid, like, damn, fuck it, I need to get where I need to get to. I need to get to it quick. I'm not trying to ride on a bus with no aircon. I'm not trying to ride on a bus to do that. Do it, man. So I feel you, bro. I mean, like I said, if that was a one-time bid, you ain't got to worry about doing it again. I would do it just to get it out the way. But that does sound like a pretty interesting trip. My man Smooth Rips in the building, Doc. He said, how long before you make your way back to Davao City? I'm not sure, man. Doc's gonna be on this little mini world tour. He's just gonna see some different places, man. We'll see how it goes. And eventually we'll make it to Davao City when we make it to Davao City, man. Michael V, what's good with your family? Appreciate you coming through. He says Grab prices change depending on what time of the day it is and what area you are in. That is true. I used to get now I get notifications on my phone for Grab. They'll be like, the best time to book is between like 4 and 10 p.m. I'm like, nah, because when I book, that shit's still expensive. The best time to book Grab, honestly, is the middle of the night. I'm not going to lie. If you're traveling 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, those prices are cheap as hell because there's nobody out. And you're right, it does depend on time and location. What was I about to say? There was a Grab situation. If I can remember this shit, I gotta remember it. I can't remember it. Anyway, but like I said, I use Grab early in the morning before. It paid like $138, only $200. But if I wanted to use that Grab going the exact same distance during the middle of the day, it was gonna cost me like double that, like $400, $500. So yeah, it does depend on the time of day. And actually, this is in all actuality, when I went to immigration, I had to go to immigration to just update some stuff. When I went to immigration and I took a taxi, or I looked for a Grab first when I was trying to get back to the mall. I looked for a Grab. The price of the Grab was 180 pesos. I said, man, that seems like a bit much. Let me just hop into a taxi. Hopped in the taxi. Taxi took me back to the mall, and the price was only 120. Actually, it was 109 or some shit like that, but I gave the taxi driver 120. Ended up saving 60 pesos. So in some instances, very limited instances, Grabs are more expensive than taxis. So that was just an interesting situation I had to deal with. Yeah, Malcolm, it's not bad, man. Riding the LRT is pretty cool, man. He says, I usually take Grab if I have too many groceries or bags to carry home or whatever. Yeah, it's easier just to take a taxi or a Grab, man. That's why it's only if you don't have your hands full. That's for sure. Melvin, what's going on with you, bro? All the way from Seattle. Appreciate you coming through. Thomas says, can you get a phone before you get there and just get a SIM card? Yeah, they sell SIM cards in the airport. You can get, if you have a phone that's open lined or whatever it may be, yeah, you can get a SIM card there in the airport. All right. Again, I see about 19 watching. I appreciate all 19 of you coming through, showing love to the good doc. Make sure you guys get the likes up on the video. Doc would highly appreciate that. If you guys want to support the channel, please feel free to do so. But of course, the good doc is happy that you come through. Spend just a little bit of your time with him today. Now and then, let's go ahead and get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Got to make sure I get my plugs in. Make sure you guys check out the ebooks. Make sure you guys check out the Teespring stores. Everything listed in the link in the description area below. Greatest book of all time, BOOTYLOO Chronicles. You can't beat it. Nobody can beat it. It's the best book ever written on God's green earth. Promise you, anybody who's ever read that book loves that book. So it should win an award for some shit, but I don't know what kind of award it should win. You got to read it because reading is seeing and believing. I want to create a visual effect of what life was like as a young expat kid here in the Philippines. So make sure you guys check that book out. If you don't buy any of the good docs books, that one is the best book to buy. And also the prescription for guys interested in dating Filipino women. Make sure I get my plug in on that one. That was a good book. Good book, examples, the whole nine. I put all in there. All right, but yeah, man, if you get an open line phone, you can buy a SIM card in the airport. Matter of fact, let me take that back. You don't even buy the SIM card. I actually think they give you free SIM cards in the airport now. Like, you can get a free Globe SIM card or some shit like that. I think you pay for the load, but the SIM card is free, if I remember correctly. I already had a SIM card, so I didn't really buy a new one, so that's why it didn't really bad. That's why it really didn't matter for me to check it out. He said, everything costs more in Manila. Yeah, it does, man. Doc is in Manila. He is. Michael V says, I am the same way. He said, I have groceries and bags. I use Grab. No doubt. My man, Mr. Carharlo, was good with you, man. Yes, I have seen quite a few. My man Malcolm says, how crucial is it to have a dual SIM phone if necessary? It's not crucial at all. To be honest with you, I kind of find dual SIM cards useless. I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason why I find having a dual SIM phone useless, the only reason is because if you use that phone, now you just lost 2 SIM cards at the exact same time. That's why I'm like, dual SIM really doesn't have any benefit, mutual benefit, in my personal opinion. Because again, you lose that phone, you lose 2 SIM cards. So that's why I don't really see it useful. But then again, it's not bad. It's not really crucial, and it's not really a necessity. If you have two different phones with two different SIMs, that's different. It just depends on why you have two different phones with two different SIMs. If you could justify the reasoning for having both, by all means, do your thing. My man Dave says you fly Eva Air or another airline. It was another airline. I flew United, then I flew Singapore Airlines, and then Jetstar from Narita to the Philippines. It was Jetstar. Very small air flight. Shit, it was very small. Right, Michael V. I think 1,000 peso was a good trip if you got away with it for that much. He says, we always talk about scamming Filipinos. I have a crazy story, man. MD, one day if you want to come on and share your story, my friend, by all means, please feel free to do so. Doc wants to have people come on and chill with him, so we'll figure it out one way or another. If you guys want to come on and join the show, man, I will gladly bring you on. Just send me your email, and I'll bring you on the show if you have some crazy stories that you want to share. Those are always the best ones, man. My man Melvin says Davao has a lot of fine women who has not been exposed to foreign men. Yeah, I guess that's definitely a way of looking at it. I'll put it to you like this. They have a lot of exceptionally beautiful women in Davao City. I wouldn't say that they haven't been exposed to foreign men, but what I will say is that they haven't been more exposed to these men than you'll find in places like Manila, AC, and also Cebu. You know, Cebu is definitely a hub for a particular type of foreigner. Manila is the melting pot for all foreigners to go. So there are a lot of women that are tainted by foreigners in these particular areas, but Davao City, I would not say it's untouched, but I'll say that it just hasn't been touched enough. If that is appropriate, if that's the appropriate way to say it, that's the only way to say it for me. But yeah, it's an immigration line in Manila airport can be dreadful most times. Yeah, that line was actually not bad. If you fly in at 12 o'clock in the morning, that line is not that bad. It was okay. I think I was actually more scared because I was like, this man gonna vet me. You know, when you have like very few people in your lines and shit, you kind of ask them questions. Why are you here? This, that, and the other, etc., etc. But for me, at the end of the day, if you look at my passport, you can see that I went to school here. So they didn't even ask me no questions at all. As a matter of fact, they didn't even check for my return flight ticket. They just asked me, when do you plan on leaving? I just made up a date. I did. I made up a date. I was like, yeah, man. I said, yeah, I got a planned trip to Thailand on like the 25th or some shit. That's what I told him. I said, yeah, man, I got a planned trip to Thailand on the 25th. He didn't even look at my shit. He just said, okay, sir, welcome to the Philippines again. I was like, that's cool. But, you know, you don't want to push your luck on that shit, man. You don't want to push your luck. I got lucky because they saw that I went to school here. They saw that I don't have any record, never been blacklisted. They could probably check the system and know who I am and where I'm from and if I've ever been to the Philippines before, because they got to check you before you come in anyway. So they probably knew all of that information before I even told them I went to school here. So they ain't really tripped. But guys, let me tell you something. I found out recently that they have a lot of satellite immigration stations. This is something that I recently found out on my trip. I haven't made a video on it, and I probably won't. But in Manila, they have satellite immigration stations. So instead of you having to go all the way to Intramuros, the main office, you can go to different locations. If you check online, find the location nearest to you, and you can renew your passport there if you need to. You know, there's one in Makati, there's one in a couple of other areas that are closer by than, you know, depending on where you're living at or where you're stationed at that particular moment in time. There are a lot of satellite stations now in Manila so that you don't have to deal with that jungle that they call an immigration office in fucking Intramuros. That place is horrible. that is the last place you want to go if you got to renew your passport. But if you're going to renew it, I did a video on that one in season 1. You guys can check it out. But if you want to go to that place, got to go in the morning. You got to be up at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when you need to be at the office so that you're at least first to be taken care of. Because if you go anytime in the afternoon, it's dreadful. It is absolutely dreadful. So keep that in mind too. My man El Ghost, what's good with you, man? He says if you're using GSM phones internationally, the phone needs to also support frequencies for that country. Very important for 3G data services. Research is necessary. Luckily for me, the phone that I have is still my old Philippine phone, and I mean old. Still got it. Ben had it, and probably ain't gonna change it. I've been requested to get an upgrade on quite a few occasions, but I refuse. Mainly because I like that phone. That phone works. I don't really need to update anything on there or upgrade anything on that phone. It's just a phone specifically used whenever I come to the Philippines. It's not a throwaway phone. It's probably old enough to be a throwaway phone by now, but I still use it and I still enjoy it. So I'm not going to do that one. The mean one is always around, people. She ain't never nowhere where she ain't supposed to be. I haven't flown on Eva Air. And maybe I did. I just can't remember. Maybe I did on my last trip, but I did not fly Eva Air. I need to check that out. Everybody talk about it, man. MD, man, I'll probably try to do a live show. See, I like to schedule my live shows in advance. The only reason I like to schedule my live shows in advance is so people know that I'm coming on. But depending on how I sleep, maybe I'll come on the morning time tomorrow morning, probably about 9 or 10. Give you guys a chance to wake up, smell the breath of fresh air, get your coffee in your system, take your breakfast or whatever it may be so that y'all can sit down and enjoy the show. But ultimately, probably tomorrow morning your time, about 10:30. I got to change my times because, again, if I do live shows in the evening time here, that's your morning time. So I'm not going to try to do shows at 8:30 in the morning. 8:30 in the morning requires my people on the West Coast to be up at 5. At least if I go at 10, that's about 7. Gives you a chance to get up. Maybe even go about 12 noon, 12 midnight here. Gives you guys a chance to actually get up and get ready. I don't want to go too early so that you guys be still in bed or something like that, and then you guys miss the show and you got to watch the recap. But yeah, probably later on my evening time, your morning time. Probably going to do a live. If I don't do it then, try to come on about the same time tomorrow, maybe 8:30 in the a.m. your time, so we'll figure it out. You said if you've never been to Taipei, you haven't flown Ava. Then I did fly Ava because the last time I was here, I flew to Taipei, Taiwan. So I did fly Eva Air. I did one time. I think, yeah, that was my flight from Taiwan last year. My flight from Taipei to the Philippines was Eva Air then, so I did fly it. Small world, people. Small fucking world. I do want to go to Taipei one day. Seems like an awesome place. Probably English is probably going to be tough, but it seems like an interesting place. I mean, even in Japan, trying to speak to the people in the airport it wasn't a task, but it was definitely a little bit difficult to have conversations with people in the airport if you're trying to ask questions. So basically, if I was going to get something to eat, I just point at shit. That's all I could do. I could just point at what I want, and they'll just get it. That was pretty much how it went. My man Justin was good with you, bro. Appreciate you guys coming through. Earl Owen says, I love Taiwan. It is awesome. It is a beautiful airport. That I do know. They do have a very, very beautiful airport. Matter of fact, I think I filmed inside of there just a little bit last year. I got to go back and check that video because I don't even remember what I did in that airport. But I did remember telling people I touched down in Taiwan because that was after my long-ass flight from, I forgot where I flew from last year. But yeah, something like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Doc is going to call it. I'm tired. Probably gonna lay down for another hour or so before I decide to get the day started again. That's what you do when you're on vacation. Drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated, people. We got some people who like to say stay thirsty. Shout out to him. I say stay hydrated because it's hot. It's fucking hot in the Philippines, guys. But I love it. Can't complain. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and shout out my people. Appreciate you guys coming through. My man Earl Owens, my boy MD, Channel 19, I see you, man. Malcolm, appreciate you being here. My man Captain, my man Justin, I see you guys in the building. Dave, I appreciate you being here. My man Mr. Carl Harlan himself. My boy El Ghost, appreciate you guys being here. Melvin, thank you guys. Michael V. Thomas, much love to you guys. I don't have too many people in. My boy Smooth Riffs, my man Terry Edwards. Appreciate all of you guys showing me love. Tommy, Tino. Who else we got? We got, I think my man name is Fuchsius. Love that name. My man NY Mess fan, the homie Pedro. Also, Earl, love you guys sincerely, man. It's been awesome. It has been real. Doc's gonna try to find here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content as it comes, and the good Doc is officially back in the Philippines enjoying life, and I hope that I can bring some new content to you guys soon. All right, definitely got some topics that I want to discuss, but we're gonna go ahead and close that out. We'll find another time and another place to drop those particular topics. All right, just wanted to check up and check in with you guys. That's why I made this video. Give you guys some updates on the particular videos that I've already released since I've been here. Talk about those real quick, why I encourage, ATM use, Airbnbs, grabs, the airport travel, stuff like that. Wanted to knock that out in this particular live stream. Accomplished that. Doc is officially out. At least nako. Paalam, which means I'm going, bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Maokita. Mabuhay. Peace.